Welcome, innovators, business owners, entrepreneurs, technology experts, academia, government R&D communities, and members of the North Carolina innovation ecosystem. This is Defense Technology Talks, hosted by the North Carolina Defense Technology Transition Office, or NC DefTech. This podcast will showcase various technologies with local and national experts who aim to solve complex national security problems. In the coming weeks, we will highlight North Carolinians with the potential to, or those that have positively contributed to enhancing the capabilities of our warfighters, law enforcement, and first responders. We will also feature government leaders in research and development who have helped shape the future in this domain. These podcasts are just one of the many free services provided by the North Carolina government to assist the North Carolina innovation ecosystem to thrive and provide solutions to our nation. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Defense Technology Talks. This is episode number 95, if you can believe it. I got Jeff here. He's from Overmatch. I don't want to take too much of his thunder, as always. However, he's going to be at the DTS, so this is another preview of a small business that's going to be at the event. And they're doing some super cool stuff in the AR, VR space, but I don't want to steal any of his thunder because I could talk about this product already. And I'll pass it over to Jeff. So tell us a little bit more about yourself and what company you work for, and then we'll go from there. Thanks.
Yeah, hey, great. It's great to be here. So my name is Jeff Rudiger. I'm the CEO of Overmatch Incorporated. We've been in business for about three and a half years, and we are focused on basically amplifying training, 100xing your training value by using augmented reality and pairing digital content into the real world and allowing you to traverse the real world, see the real world, interact with it, use simulated weapons, use real weapons, and get training value out of it.
Yeah, I mean, the Army's got a whole cross-functional team to try and figure this problem out, for the synthetic training environment. And, I personally have seen your kit, and you made some updates since then, so I'm kind of jealous. But I really think that it's important that we figure out ways to train effectively, but also minimize costs. And, with your system, there may be some upfront costs in the beginning, but by comparison to the amount of ammo that I can save training in a synthetic environment and the realism of the scenario. And I think that's one of the things that has changed since the last time I've seen it. If you don't mind, could you kind of elaborate on some of the changes that you made between the last time I saw you and this time? I mean, that would be helpful. And then...
Sure, definitely. So we're definitely a display agnostic. So we don't care what headsets we use in the end states. The last headset that we integrated was the Magic Leap 2. It's by far the best commercial headset on the market to do augmented reality. Some of the newer features that we've seen in the last year are we can go outside, we can work in the daylight. We've integrated a ton of new AI features, hide and seek, seek and destroy, coordinated movement. In fact, we're on contract with West Point to bolster our AI. And so the idea there is that we've written a bunch of APIs so that the cadets can then tailor OPT4 AI. So as you go through the shoot house, they can, if they want to train to a certain KPI, they can write AI that forces you to go down that path. The other features that we've got going are, up to 8 trainees. We've upped the amount of square footage that we digital twin. So that, the soup to nuts of the capability is within an hour of reaching any point of need, you should be able to twin the area, drop in your own scenario, make your own OPT4, set AI, and start training. And then once you're done with the training, you can follow your ghost, your avatar, and walk through and see exactly what you did, where you were looking, where you shot, what you did right and wrong. And so the ability there is that we just want to up the reps and sets as much as we can. And then the other feature that was added recently was the remote observer. So, if you're training on the East Coast and your SME can't make it and they're on the West Coast, they can log in and be a part. They can have their own avatar in the system. So they can be either a trainee or they can be an observer or they can be an instructor. So we don't care where you are in the world. If you have an internet connection, then you should be able to be part of this synthetic environment and be able to be, of value.
That's huge, because I think one of the difficulties that everybody misses is, the importance of rehearsals and the ability to do a full force rehearsal, even if it's remote virtually, is better than not doing a rehearsal at all. So that's a big step forward. And I'm looking forward to checking that out. The other part of it is so we figured out kind of what government problem that you're trying to solve. You're trying to solve the VR AR space, but do you see this spinning out into other things, like into the dual purpose categories? Do you see like a use cases for law enforcement or gaming or any other type? Because every time you turn around, Apple or Google or one of the other bigger companies is rolling out their next version of their VR or XR helmet or headset. Do you see any applications for that? Or are you guys strictly sticking with the DoD application?
Oh, we're definitely dual use. The concept that we have today is for sale worldwide. It's already been bought by law enforcement, so we already have use cases for active shooter, de-escalation, and we're putting a bunch of points in the next year into adding AI into the de-escalation, so that people can have a natural language conversation with a suspect and have is it a traffic stop? Is it somebody that is deaf that you need to talk to and need to understand that they're deaf? And there's lots of different dual use for this actual capability. Even within the DoD, there's many different uses of this other than just enter and clear a room. The same technology stack is being used for can we use it in a Humvee and train within the synthetic environment? Same exact tech stack, same thing. As you do your performance, we record it and you can see your avatar played back. And then law enforcement is a great dual use case. Eventually it'll get back into entertainment. That's sort of where we all came from. But the idea is that it's much more rewarding to train somebody to get better at one of these jobs in law enforcement and DoD than it is to entertain.
Yeah, and I think there's a lower threshold for success. You know what I mean? Like all I have to do is make it kind of fun, and most people will try it out. But as far as making people effective is on the battlefield, it's a lot of work. But when you get to the conclusion, I think it'll be very rewarding. But that's really all I have for you right now, Jeff. The only other question that I have really is to find out, like, hey, where can we find more information about your company if we wanted to know more about Overmatch?
Well, the easy thing is to go to overmatch.com or find me on LinkedIn. Or just email me, Jeff@overmatch.com. Happy to
Perfect.
talk to you.
I appreciate that. And I will tell you, the whole team at Overmatch is great. And they submitted for the TIDE program with the North Carolina Defense Technology Transition Office. And you guys know us because we're DefTech, but they submitted for the TIDE program and were down selected for the DTS. So they're going to be at the Defense Technology Summit next week. So look for them at their booth on Tuesday. I believe they're setting up one of the training kits and this the remote station. So I think this will be a great opportunity for, if you need to, get your hands on some training tools, come by the Overmatch desk and check them out, and it'll be a great opportunity. But the DTS, again, is sold out. So if you didn't sign up, you missed your chance. But if you are going, here's your opportunity to link up with one of the companies that is going to be on the floor during the trade show portion and also giving their mini brief. But again, thanks a lot, Jeff, for coming on the show. And we'll look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at the DTS.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited.
Awesome. This is Rob Robinson for Defense Technology Talks, and we'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Defense Technology Talks, hosted by the North Carolina Defense Technology Transition Office, or DefTech. The views expressed in this broadcast are solely those of the individual contributors. As indicated, DefTech does not take responsibility for those statements or opinions and accepts no responsibility or liability for any inaccuracy or omissions reported during this program. The content and interviews are fair use for instructional purposes and to build awareness for the North Carolina innovation ecosystem. The full version of this presentation has been uploaded to our Mobilize platform. Mobilize is just another free service provided to you to access more national security and business collaboration opportunities. You can sign up for more information at deftech.nc.gov. Join us soon for the next podcast coming to a platform near you. DefTech is a subsidiary of the North Carolina Military Business Center and receives its support from Fayetteville Technical Community College.